Hey guys, it's Will. Hopefully you're having a great day today. We started trading this morning and we're looking at the S&P 500. We saw that it was starting the day off pretty green. The markets were looking green, but then sold off quite a bit. You could see some of these companies losing momentum. Tesla sold down a little bit. You see Taiwan Semiconductor sell down. You see Big Bear AI sell down. If we head over to Quantum here, Quantum AI, you can see some of the companies they were selling off a little bit. There's Rigetti. You got Ion Q as well as QBTS down there. Not a lot, just a little bit of a sell off. Really still in the green with SPY. This morning, we're trading here SOXL. We got in, we see this dip that's happened recently, and we're potentially seeing this swing here. It's what we're kind of anticipating. What we're looking for is maybe a bounce in the semiconductor market. As we saw, tech and computers have a relieved tariff, so no tariffs on those in the near term. That has some temporary relief potentially for some of the markets, especially in the semiconductor space. This trend is starting to develop. It's pretty early, as you can see, but we're looking at potentially maybe seeing this hold pattern. It's only hit this level, this support and resistance, about 2 or 3 times, but you can see this is a swing that would be about 50% that we're potentially in right now. So in that position, small position, down a little bit there, but we're trading it here in our live session in Stockmate. So again, if you guys want to join Stockmate, one thing we just released inside, we got our live sessions each morning, but check out some of the targets for this week. So we have our price targets as well as cautionary targets for all the companies that are in AI tech reporting earnings this week. A couple of the companies we're watching closely are going to be Taiwan Semiconductor, so in the semiconductor space, Applied Digital, so the data center builders are reporting after hours today. They made it on our top 5 lists yesterday. And as we're watching APLD here, you can see APLD. Again, they build the data centers for NVIDIA and some other big GPU companies. And look at them. They're kind of consolidating left to right. You go back 3 months maybe here, and you start to see more consolidation. We go back a year here, and you start to see this uptrend start to develop. And that's where they are right now, maybe bouncing a little bit on this rising support level with earnings today. If they have a big day, this is the type of swing, maybe not that 150% swing, but APLD has earnings today, so we'll be watching there after hours. The other company that we had targets for today, let's take a look here. For this week, we got Netflix, there's Applied Digital. Our bullish targets for Applied Digital are up there around 650. You got Ericsson, Infosys as well. You actually got Blackstone as well, so keep that in mind. ASML, we're looking at these companies with a little bit of caution this week as the markets have been more volatile than usual. Nevertheless, you got Netflix coming in and Taiwan Semiconductor, even United Airlines should be interesting. So we got some targets there that we'll be looking at and trading in Stockmates tomorrow morning. Today, again, more patience on this SOXL position. Will the semiconductor market recover? That is the question. We're seeing a little bit of a recovery potentially. It's quite the limited risk, I would say, when we're buying down here on the semiconductor market. We saw such a huge influx of cash through basically 2020 to 2022. And then from late 2022 all the way till 2024, a really big swing there. Maybe we're due for another cycle. That's kind of what I'm anticipating a little bit here. These aren't small swings. We're talking about, like, let's say this is a big trade. That's a 600% swing. Am I going to be risking a lot? No. Are we going to be looking at it closely at market open to potentially trade it? Yes, we will be. And that's what we've been doing. So again, for you guys that are looking at the markets right now, there are a few things to consider when it comes to Taiwan Semiconductor, for example, this new market. You hear me talk about space companies. How many of you guys have been looking at quantum computing companies? How many of you guys have looked at the different AI companies? They're all, a lot of them, right? A lot of them are going to have some link to either data centers or semiconductors. So that's why we have such a big focus on the semiconductors. Some of the targets that we got this week for Taiwan Semiconductor are up there, right? We got a cautionary target if things don't go accordingly. But what do we know about Taiwan Semiconductor? They recently said they're putting their manufacturing, so I'll just search their manufacturing here. They were here primarily in Taiwan, but as of recently, they've been pushing towards manufacturing in the US. They have manufacturing in Phoenix and some other areas of the US. They supply the chips, manufacturing chips, for companies like Apple and Nvidia. That's why they're just ahead of Tesla on market cap. And a lot of people, I think, have been sleeping on them. But if you take a look real quick at their financials, they're at 6.95 billion. I like to look at the net income because some people said, oh, revenue's not growing as fast. It's still up 38% year over year. And yeah, they missed earnings per share here. And some people said that's not so good. But what I'm watching, this is different than Nvidia, right? Nvidia, they've had their net profit margins actually go down a little bit, if not kind of taper off recently. Taiwan Semiconductor, take a look at their net profit margins quarter over quarter increasing. And really, they've increased to 43%, up 13% their net profit margins. And with the increased revenue, net income is just going up. So that's part of why, we're really anticipating these earnings to see how they go. If they have some good earnings later this week, that bullish target's up at 165. Just to kind of put that in perspective on the semiconductor market. And again, tariffs shifting could change this. If we see, oh, actually, electronics aren't exempt, or actually, Dell Computer doesn't have an advantage, or what have you, that could change pretty quickly. But even so, with their manufacturing in the U.S., a $165 target would put them right here. It's about a 6% increase from current prices. From the dip of where we started analyzing them is about a 20% swing, and they're already starting to make this swing. Actually, we drew this support level a couple days ago. They're already starting to swing there. They swing about 13% since we started analyzing them. And again, we're saying maybe they push up here in this $165, $170 range here around earnings. Now, we'll have to monitor it closely and see how it goes. There's a lot of great companies to watch right now. And if you guys want to stay up to date with space tech, we're going to do some cooler overviews as well as sharing some of our new software that's coming out. I got some interchangeable AI models that are doing some analysis on the markets that has been very interesting and getting some good results, especially when we actually plug in all the data, the millions of data points of the news and things like that. So I'm excited to share. We're growing really fast. Appreciate you all. Again, if you want to join us in those live sessions in StockMate, it's the second link in the description. We got a huge sale that's been extended. We reopened VIP for a limited time, lifetime access to join us at Market Open. So went there this morning at 6:30 a.m. Pacific, and we're there every morning. If you want to join us, would love to have you there. And you get those price targets that I showed you just a second ago. So really looking forward to having more content on not just semiconductors, but the space tech and quantum computing as well. And let me know your thoughts on what you guys think about this. Is this too bullish to be looking at these semiconductor markets the way I'm looking at them? I think that we could see some recoveries, and that's how I'm kind of viewing them. Now, some people say that's too bullish. I understand. It's been working good for me, but let me know how you guys feel. After the recent big sell-offs, I think we're due for a little bit of temporary relief in the near term. So that's how I'm viewing it. Let me know. And if I earned your thumbs up, hit that like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.